Yeah, have the snow shovels ready because it looks like they will be needed.
Snowmageddon, snow apocalypse, whatever.
The snow is just packed in. That's why our news car is stuck right here.
The Snow Teeth Whitening at-home system. I love you for this. I love you for this. I mean, you put this in the device, you can just be at the subway with your teeth cleaning. You could be emailing, how fabulous is that?
This is one of the biggest kits that I have ever seen for the value.
Why do these products look so sterile and medical and like just ugly?
Brush the crunchers, clean the crunchers, shine.
All right.
Recording?
Yep.
Let's do this.
Josh Illicecci, he is the founder of what is considered the Apple of oral care.
Yes. Wow.
Snow.
Hi, is Josh here?
Yes, I think they just got it.
Oh,
They got
okay.
it there like a little bit ago, but let me just double check.
Sounds good.
You've seen it on Insta, it's all over your Facebook.
Hi, Josh. What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Thanks for coming in.
What's up, guys? Chris here. Last month I had the opportunity to fly out to Arizona to talk to Josh Illicecci, CEO of Snow.
Hooks to your phone and then roll.
This all started with an Instagram DM I sent him last month asking if he wanted to be in a YouTube video, to which he agreed, and we created the content that you'll be seeing today. Snow is a premium teeth whitening brand that has been around since 2017 and has grown to over 500,000 users of the product.
Instagram sensation.
I've been doing e-commerce for a few years now, but only recently have been taking steps toward creating my own product. And it's definitely not easy. A lot of risk and money is involved for something that might not even work. It's people like Josh with a great story on how they navigated all of this and built something truly amazing that inspired me. So without wasting any more time, we'll look into how Snow came to be.
Could I disrupt a dormant, quote unquote, boring industry like oral care? I started mixing stuff.
And we'll also look at the less glamorous side of things.
I saw what happened to Kylie's lip kits. She was getting counterfeited.
The fake lip kit, and on the right I have the real one.
There's such, good quality fakes that are out there right now. It is unbelievable.
So go ahead and sit back, relax. We have a lot to get to.
It started off because I had voluntary jaw surgery to fix some of my TMJ and joint issues with my jaw, which ended up being the best decision of my life. Going through that process of having braces multiple times, then getting prepped for surgery, then actually having, the surgery. You open this up and now you reveal the wireless system, it's protected. I was buying a lot of oral care products at the time. So they're like, you're gonna probably have dry mouth, so you should buy this, you're gonna buy this. So I was spending hundreds of dollars buying everything from like CVS and Walgreens and Walmart and Target. And I remember coming home and looking at my dining table full of these products that I had bought. I was just looking, I was like, these products are so ugly. I had sold a company, time period wise, we're talking about 3.5, 4 years ago probably.
You sold your agency.
That's correct.
You had more than 40 employees, which is pretty amazing.
I was, maybe 22, 23. Costing me exactly $0 to get my first blog started, and then that allowed me to buy my car, and I was able to buy a computer and kind of just evolve from that. Was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was doing some angel investing. I had a couple other businesses kind of operating on the side. I had two of my best friends starting a company called Tuft & Needle.
Had one of the best ratings in Consumer Reports, and the price was unbeatable.
And they were the first bed-in-a-box startup in 2012.
It's really soft cover here, and it has a nice embossed Tuft & Needle.
And I was kind of thinking to myself, what is going to be my bed in a box? Like, which industry could I disrupt and really have a shot at doing this? I needed something to keep me focused, so I needed a big, market. I needed something that was very difficult. And I remember walking down the toothpaste aisle and it's like red and blue. And I looked at all the ingredients. I'm like, these ingredients are pretty much the same. Like, why are they packaged differently? Why do these products look so sterile and medical and like just ugly? So I thought about it and I was like, okay, I feel like there's a gap in the market for a premium option of oral care, something that has better ingredients, better packaging, a better experience. You know, reveal the wands here. This one seems to be missing one. Could I disrupt a dormant, quote unquote, boring industry like oral care? So that's when I went to my, oral surgeon and my dentist and was like, hey, I want to get into this space. What could I do? And they're like, well, you can't fill cavities. You're not a dentist. The only thing you could probably do is teeth whitening. So then I said, maybe that's where I would start. So I went on to Amazon, I looked up all the top selling teeth whiteners. I went on Google.
God, these stick so good, you guys.
The same ingredient over and over again for the most part, hydrogen peroxide. And I saw the issues in the comments and in the reviews of sensitivity.
The fact I've not been able to sleep all night because my sensitivity is so bad.
The ease of use, the longevity, the results, the efficacy of the formula.
All new tonight, a toothpaste warning. Could a certain ingredient be a danger every time you use it?
So I was like, okay.
They are a bit pricey.
I kind of see a theme here.
So mix all of that with making a teeth whitening product that's attractive and worthy to post about on Instagram or give to somebody for Christmas.
So what is this?
If I were to give somebody Crest's white strips for Christmas, they'd probably see it as cheap or offensive. So what Snow is doing to teeth whitening is very similar to what Dollar Shave Club did to razors.
I start off as a programmer. I'm very gadget and tech obsessed. So if I could take technology and beauty and merge that into oral care and really have oral care and skincare kind of meet, what would that look like? So I knew that going into a market that was dominated by 4 players mainly would mean that I would have to come out with something substantially better, substantially differentiated. And I would need to stick at it for a long period of time if I had any odds of success in my favor. Be it answers to whatever you're struggling with at that moment from the community, from me and Matt. We are here to see you succeed. At the end of the day, if you're not successful, we're not happy. So we started with, and I say we, it was just me in my own head and my dentist friends and oral surgeon, asking them like, what could we do differently on the formula? Could you help me out? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, here's the stuff we use in the office. Here's the science behind it. So I started to read into the LED lights and the ultraviolet lights and how that oxidizes the formula. I started to get really geeky into, all of, at a molecular level, like how does hydrogen peroxide work? Why does oxygen remove stains? Just going through all that. I started mixing stuff, at my house. I started taking, strips and scraping off the strip, material. I started mixing this, mixing that. I grabbed some sensitive toothpaste, mixed it in there. Would that help with sensitivity? If I could figure out something myself, and then going back to my dental friends, I need to talk to more people. So I went on LinkedIn, literally I went on LinkedIn, typed in like L'Oreal, Estee Lauder, found their companies, found their chemists, and then I literally reached out to them on LinkedIn and said, hey, can I pay you $500 for 30 minutes of your time? And I just kept like down the rabbit hole, like one after the other, after the other.
So Josh finds a supplier in Hong Kong to turn all this research and vision of what the product will look like into a prototype. And that prototype leads to several other prototypes with various iterations, and it's starting to look promising. But how do you know this product that came from inside of your head is actually going to work, that people are going to buy it? Well, Josh wastes no time creating the first version of the website and then the first initial ads, and the first 100 sales came in pretty quickly. The momentum is starting to pick up, but there's just one elephant in the room though.
Are the customers going to be as pleased with the formula and their results as I have been? And that's where I started to watch and started to call one by one on Shopify. I'd go to orders, anyone who spent more than $100 or $200, I'd pick up the phone and call them. What made you buy the product? What do you like about it? Have you used it yet?
So the customers are now building this product, making it absolutely perfect. So over time, the refund rate is going down and the sales are going up.
Kept scaling, kept scaling, kept scaling. I was like, I think we're on to something here.
Josh eventually had to take shipping out of his house, hire people, and turned Snow into a full-fledged company, which has now become the success people see. Over 500,000 users of the product, over 10 million website shoppers, hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. It's impressive.
Well, I'm gonna start off by saying I have nothing to sell you. Is that okay? Cool. Okay, so we can continue.
One thing I find interesting is the fact that Josh has a personal brand. He's built this audience as a CEO.
Instagram sensation.
Much like a lot of the big brands out there today, you know who you're buying from. When I look at Crest or Colgate though, I don't know who the CEO is.
If you look at Jeffree Star Cosmetics, for example, there's a huge advantage when Jeffree is very transparent, very upfront, open about the entire life cycle of that business. There's something about people wanting to be a part of a story. They want to be a part of something.
You broke Shopify, and we've never experienced this before.
Let's turn it around. This is the war room. Yeah.
People want a sense of community, and I think that as social media has skyrocketed in popularity, the sense of community has diminished as a result of that, and has suffered in that. People are behind screens and in front of their phones more than they are in front of their family and their friends.
Hey, 2 likes, nice. I feel like it's just part of our lives now. Like everyone does it, and like it's something like every single morning you wake up and do it.
In this interesting turn of fortune.
Kylie Jenner, congratulations.
From one of the world's youngest self-made billionaires.
All of a sudden, you can disrupt a large industry by putting your face in front of it in many ways.
We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
Now, my face is not in front of Snow. You won't find me on any of the ads, you won't find me on the website. And that's on purpose because I want our products to speak for themselves and I want our community to speak for our products. I wanted to also get back to entrepreneurs. I thought in my mind, if Steve Jobs was tweeting while he was building the company.
One of these devices can free a person from many of the drudgeries of life.
I thought, how impactful would that be as opposed to waiting 30 years for the biography to come out or autobiography? What if you could document that, that journey, whether you fail or you succeed, so that people can learn from that while you're doing it?
We're really sort of blazing the trails.
And I saw the rise of esports. I saw the rise of the success of the cooking channel.
And we want to add enough to
People like to watch other people doing things.
in salary.
People want to know who they're buying from. I realized I had become my own version of that as a child when I saw Steve Jobs present the iPhone when I was like 13 years old.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything.
And I saw that presentation and I immediately became infatuated with the device.
Ooh.
But it was really Steve Jobs' ability to present something and to disrupt an industry and to do so in a fearless manner and in an inspired way.
But what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen.
That's why I think people are constantly watching what Apple comes out with next, because they're like, what are they going to disrupt next? Yeah. Where's Elon going next?
Welcome to the Cybertruck unveil.
So I said, what about as me as a baby version of that?
Josh,
in a space maybe not as sexy, that I could put my face in front of for entrepreneurs to see and become a part of this David versus Goliath story.
Try to figure everything out on your own. You can read all the books like I had to read. Okay, you can go and watch 1,000 YouTube videos like I had to do.
And as a result, there have been people that have come and tried to knock us off. They still do, and things like that. Because there's a misconstrued perception that if I create a teeth whitening company like Josh, I'll have the cars he has, right. I'll have the success. Where in reality, it's underneath the iceberg. I can afford to lose millions of dollars to prove this point out.
Janet Birdsall was arrested after investigators received the tip she was reportedly selling high-value.
When you're operating a brand at a scale like Snow, it's inevitable. You'll have copycats, whether they're stealing your content or completely ripping off your product. But that's not the only thing you have to worry about.
There's an ugly side to the beauty industry, and believe it or not, that is counterfeits.
I saw what happened to Kylie's lip kits. she was getting counterfeited.
The fake lip kit, and on the right, I have the real one.
Take a look at where some of these counterfeit cosmetics are made. It's a scary thing to think about.
When you have someone putting something in their mouth and they think it's a Snow product and it's not.
Federal investigators say counterfeit goods are flowing onto big e-commerce sites.
The boxes both have the wood grain texture. Both of them actually do have the feeling of the wood grain texture.
Just is like dirty.
There's such, good quality fakes that are out there right now. It is unbelievable. If you're buying for something that's 50 to 75% off, you might want to think again.
And ultimately, you're ingesting serum that has not been quality tested.
I'm gonna have to go to the doctor just to get this taken care of so it doesn't get worse.
A major makeup bust in LA's fashion district.
LAPD seized $700,000 worth of fake cosmetics that tested positive for bacteria.
Kind of gross.
But the packaging really did just fall apart.
This is the front line in the battle against counterfeit goods.
It wasn't supposed to open like that. It was supposed to slide out the bottom.
Thousands of boxes will be searched. Often what's inside is not what it seems.
Every product has a serial number or a unique identifier so that we can know exactly where that product came from, where did they order it, is it a counterfeit, is it not?
Officers say there's so much money in counterfeit goods, they compare it to drug trafficking.
We do everything through independent third-party labs. We test our own batches, the potency, what's the formula breakdown, the chemical breakdown, and constantly testing it. So if you're not going through that process, it's dangerous.
Customs officers say last year alone, they seized more than 2,000 shipments of counterfeit beauty products. In fact, fake personal items are now more common than knockoff handbags.
Why is Snow successful?
So you sit at home, you watch the Wendy's show, you whiten your teeth.
You could assume a lot of things, like Josh investing millions of dollars over a few years. But a company like this with so much at risk, allocating that money the wrong way, you could be bankrupt inside of a week. You have to be very strategic with that kind of thing. Or what about the influencer partnerships?
Snow White is simple, all you gotta do is brush it on and then you plug it in for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's definitely a big advantage, but Josh mentions it only accounts for 2 to 3% of the revenue. So I ask again, what makes Snow successful and remain successful?
At the end of the day, if you don't have a product that is differentiated, that works, consistently works.
Not so much into this.
The battery started dying after just a couple minutes.
And you don't have a support team and the service to go along with that.
So this package comes, right? It's from China, right?
These lightsabers are dressed up a lot. They make sound. They're just like the ones in the movies.
Don't buy anything from the Instagram ads because most of them are scams.
There are companies out there who really value money more than they value their customers.
Almost all those ads in question come from companies you've never heard of before. The stores looked hip and trendy, but
a lot of the wording was, copy pasted from other websites, and a lot of the imagery was just stock imagery.
You're not going to succeed. One of my mentors, who is the richest man in Arizona, founded a company called Discount Tire. 50 years, sold one product and one product only. They did so in a manner that was of respect.
That's part of our core. That's our spirit. That's our attitude.
Protected their customer. They served the customer. Shake your hand, smile.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back.
And they just did one thing very well, and he built a multi-billion-dollar company while owning 100% of it, one tire at a time. What we've been able to do is create this aspirational vibe in a marketplace that I don't think has ever had that.
So if you're on Instagram and you follow Snow Teeth Whitening,
it's beautiful. Thank you, Courtney.
I don't see people posting toothpaste on Instagram willingly, for free. And I think what makes Snow different is there's an essence of branding that is weaved together through our packaging.
These guys did a really good job of packaging this thing.
Through our marketing, our advertising, our website, we're continually updating, iterating, changing stuff. The shininess, the hot stamping, the size of this. We had an issue with the adhesive not being strong enough through different conditions. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. It gets very hot.
Today for Phoenix, a high of 117 degrees.
Extreme heat waves pound the valley today.
So we tested different adhesives to find something that could withstand the certain amount of force that's required for someone to open it. So it's just that right amount where I can open it, but yet strong enough to hold on throughout that. Every single aspect of this package is looked at as if we were building software, from how does the logo lay, the iridescence and the reflection, the embossing and debossing of our actual lettering.
I think I've heard you say before, like how easy the plastic comes off of it.
Right, initially if the plastic was too tight so you couldn't grab it anywhere. It was a little too thick so you couldn't run a nail across it.
The wrapping, very simple process.
And, you know, of course we looked at Apple.
Oh, very nice.
You know, we looked at a lot of other brands, Dyson, and we thought about how do they think about packaging and the unboxing experience.
Designed by Apple in California, very classic.
And I knew that Instagrammable was going to be key. If I walk out with $0 10 years from now, but we've proven something or we've inspired millions of entrepreneurs, it would all be worth it to me. I don't know how else I would spend my money. I don't know how else I would spend my time. You know, for me, it's the game I've chosen to play.